So, who remembers RimWorld? That game from a while back I did a showcase for. Well, I figured that since the guys behind RimWorld decided to give me, a Steam, key, and this game is like, pretty much up my alley for games I do a series of, maybe I'll do a series for it. Alright, so for those who don't know, this is essentially RimWorld, which is a space colony builder. It says, says right there, a colony simulator by Titanian Sylvester. It's basically inspired by Dwarf Fortress, which I did. Well, they were basically my first Let's Plays on my channel, and it's also inspired by other games, or not other games, but rather other aspects of culture, such as Firefly. Which, for those who don't know, Firefly was essentially a sort of futuristic sci-fi thing. Essentially, in that sci-fi universe, China and the United States have merged into one government, and humanity had basically extended its life into the stars. One of the aspects about that like sort of like sci-fi was like this sort of like lawless like universe with like a big centralized area, and like in this lawless universe you had like stuff like guns and like knives and lasers and stuff like that, all mixed in like this like chaotic mess. It's basically the Wild Wild West in space. The series didn't do too well, but it did have a whole lot of interesting aspects to it. And it looks like RimWorld like combines a lot of those aspects and then like throws into like a Dwarf Fortress type of simulator mode type of thing. Now there's a tutorial for us, but we're gonna skip that. I'm just gonna sort of start my own game. So we'll start a new colony, which will be what we'll do here. We'll go with Crash Land since that's like the default thing. Free Crash Land survivors, the classic RimWorld experience. You can add these scenarios by the way to have like different things. Like you can have like the Rich Explorer here, which basically has like one Rich Explorer out to experience the universe, and like you have all this other stuff here. And then there's like the Lost Tribe, 5 Lost Tribes been attempting to rebuild, blah blah blah. Your tribe is destroyed by the great blood machine sent by the gods. 5 of you managed to escape. Now it's time to build up a new home. Alright, so let's go with Crash Land here, because that's like the typical classical experience. And we're gonna go with permadeath on, because losing is fun. For the AI storyteller, I think we're gonna go with Phoebe Chilax, who's essentially like she gives lots of time between disasters, relax and build your colony, but beware at higher difficulty she can hit as hard as anyone. Basically, she gives you like this like nice little reprieve between incidents, so you can you can build stuff. And I think that'll be good to sort of like show off a lot of the the game's like aesthetics and such. I'll put it on rough difficulty and let's go from there. Sure, we'll make the sea we'll call Utah. And I'll generate a world. Alright, so here's our world. On this world, we basically have like your Arctic sheet, and like your tundras, arid deserts, temperate forests, tropical wonderlands, and then down here's like arid shrubland. Deserts. Okay. On this map, if you look carefully, you'll see like a red dot down here. So there's like the winners, which are essentially a pirate band over here. They basically rob people if they get a chance to. If I look carefully, I'll probably see a faction base. The family's tree is an outlier town. That'd be like another town, like IB, another colony. Far from it, there might be something over here, but whatever. There's also tribes people they can possibly run into. Not sure we see any like their bases right away. I don't see any like popping right out. I see like another pirate band is up here. Pirates are essentially bandits in this game. And I would like to show off the green dot that's like the tribals, but I don't see it like appearing anywhere. Well, whatever. There's probably gonna be tribals in the game. There's one. So here's like a tribe, and like tribes are essentially like I guess they'd be like an aboriginal type of people. They basically fire at you with like sticks and stones and bows. And there's another pirate band. There's a lot of pirates in this area. Alright, now I thought it might be good to start over this little spot, perhaps, because, I looked at this. Alright, so here's something I note. There's basically different types of, like, terrain and, like, types of terrain you can basically be on. You have, like, temperate forest. You have, like, tropical rainforest. You have, like, arid shrublands. You have boreal forest. You have desert. You have tundra. And you also have the ice sheet. And each of these like have like their own different like properties for basically being survived on. I'm gonna go with like this like temperate forest over here. Basically, the thing about this temperate forest, it's got year-round growing. The temperature looks pretty nice, and it has to be set up against a mountain. And mountains are pretty good for like defenses. And like I'll note that in this game, you basically have like different types of like terrain. You have like flat terrain. You have like mountainous terrain, small hills, large hills. But we're going to start over here in this temperate forest because I think this is good. Now, something to note by the way, that in this game, RimWorld, it's not like Dwarf Fortress where you can like sort of border on like different biomes. Basically, you're in only one type of biome, and then that's basically what you're going to crash land into. So we'll select this site, and then we'll start getting to our colonists here. So something else about the colonists is that colonists are like randomized. You don't really pick what type of like stats or traits they basically have. So I basically click random a few times, and like you get whatever you want from here. And this guy looks okay, kinda. I shouldn't say he's entirely okay though. He's basically got like good cooking, which is nice for like cooking like meals and such, but he doesn't have very good other stuff. So here's the thing that I want to basically do. I'll note that like of these guys, when you're basically looking for like your colonists, you want to have like basically three things covered. You want to have a guy who's good at shooting. You want to have a guy that's good at medicine. And you probably want to have a guy that's good at construction. Growing is also pretty important. Cooking is pretty important. Social's got its importance as well. Mining, that's good if you're good next to a mountain, which you'll also be doing, so that's also pretty important. And there's also crafting and research down here as well, which have their importance as well. I think for this first guy, I'm going to randomize him until I get a high medicine score. Like that. Maybe without all these like negative traits. I don't have a lot of negative traits on my doctor. Alright, so here's this guy. He's basically incapable of intellectual and firefighting. He's lazy, chemical fascination, and he's also got abrasive in here. But the thing about this guy is that he's got good grower, he's got good mining, he's got good medicine. This is not a bad person for a doctor, I don't think. So this is a male colonist. Let's call this guy... I'm gonna call... Well, why? Let's just throw in some YouTube numbers again. Let's go with Sporkinator. Or actually, let's go like this. Sporkinator. Oh, let's go like that, I guess. The Sporkinator. Apparently, he's got a stab scar to his right eye. And he's got a problem with his torso, but for the most part, this guy would be pretty good, for doing stuff. He's also apparently, he's got a good opinion of Sparkles because he's his sister. So Sparkles is this person right here. That's a hell of an age difference. Something to note about this game is that the age differences of your columns, like, they go up and down quite a bit. Sometimes they'll be really high, like, 46, age 46 and age 21. And note something as well. Basically, she is age 21, but she's chronologically 716 years old. He's age 46, but he's only like 95 chronological years old. What this basically is going on in this game? Basically, it sort of like goes with like sort of like realistic space age type of thing, where if you're basically in space moving at faster than light speeds, you'll actually be a lot like older, but you won't like age as fast. So basically, he hasn't been in space all that long. Spork here, and like Sparkles here, she's just what can I say about her? She's basically been in space a long time. She's not that old, and she's not really capable of doing a whole lot of damn stuff. She's got good crafting, artistic and all, but well, she does have good industrious there as well, and she's got the brother of Spork in her thing. Thing is, I don't really know any females, so to speak. Could throw like random like a random name in here, but whatever. She doesn't have good shooting either. And something I know is I want to have like good shooting on my like these two right here. So we're gonna randomize you. You're apparently the sister of Sammy Ger, which is essentially a faction leader. So something about you can have like relations with like the other factions. So you can have like better like relations with those guys, with like the factions here. So here is Vitally. He's basically incapable of intellectual, violent, and crafting. He's got a go juice addiction. He's heat tolerant, but I don't really care about that. Okay, let's just randomize you again to be a male. Alright, this guy's got good mining. That's not bad to have for like as a secondary thing. I kinda wish he had better shooting though. I don't really need someone who's good at medicine, so to speak. Alright, here's a character that looks somewhat decent. So here's basically a guy's got good social, good melee, good shooting. He's also got good artistic research. Now let's randomize him again. Yeah, it can be very hard to get your, like, you know, Pacific colonists you're going for, if you're trying to go for a Pacific colonist. This guy isn't too bad. He's basically has steadfast, he's got prostophobe, but mining's high, research is high. This guy's pretty decent, so sure. We'll go with like this guy. We'll call this one. Why not? I'll be this guy. So Davian. DFuxa. DFuxa. I'm playing him a blaster. No idea what that means. And we'll randomize you to be a male of some sort. Oh, look at this. High shooting, high melee. He's incapable of cleaning, of all things, but that's whatever. Good medicine. Crafting. That's not too bad to have around. Here's the thing. I need someone who's good at, what was it? Basically, he's good at shooting and all that, but I also need him to be good, like, at, like, you know, construction, because I don't have any good construction guys yet. Like, I can be, like, a good miner and a good researcher in, like, my off time. Spork will be pretty good for growing, doctoring, mining. I'm pretty good at mining, so we've got that covered. I essentially need to have someone who's either good at cooking and construction, I guess is what I'm really after. There we go, good construction. Bad back's not bad though, that'll hurt like movement speed. Apparently this is the lover of Sporkinator. Okay. So Sporkinator's gonna have a lover. No, I don't think we'll go with that. Let's just randomize. I want someone about bad back anyways. You're good at social, good at whatever. Yeah, it can take a while to basically randomize your guys like this. Okay, dumb labor, carrying, social, scary, firefighting, and cleaning. Well, carrying is not so bad because he's probably going to be the one who's doing all the fighting. Scary and firefighting and cleaning. The firefighting, doctoring, watering, hauling, cleaning, and plaque cutting. Wow. Apparently he's also a cannibal. I think I'll avoid giving anyone a cannibal trait. That guy was pretty good in some aspects, and this guy's really good in a lot of aspects. Look at this. High crowing, high mining, high artistic, high crafting, high research. Or, well, he's not really good at that stuff, but whatever. He's got dementia though. That's probably not good to have. That guy's asthma. Another guy with high shooting and high medicine. But again, I need to have a guy who's good construction. Kinda wish it wouldn't be a female though. Because I don't know any females. I realize that sounds really crappy, but whatever. We're gonna have a free man, you know, colony for starting out, and then some females will run around along the way. All right, here's a guy who's pretty decent. He's apparently gay. Cat is romantically attracted to people of his own gender. He's pretty. But the thing about this guy is that he's basically got good mining, he's got fairly decent construction. He's a cave world tunneler. No, I think we'll go someone else. That's a little bit, you know... It looks pretty good, that guy, on paper and such, but... I wouldn't mind having this faction. He's got good construction. He's cold tolerant, which is not exactly ideal. This is basically good for being in, like, colder temperatures. Which is great for him, not so great for everyone else. He basically gets uncomfortable in higher temperatures, basically is what this guy's all about. He's not terrible, this guy, but the problem is that, you know... I could actually take him. You know, let's change this to someone else. We're going to change this to be... Manigamar. Why not? Actually, I got my recording there, but whatever. I'll be this guy right here, because I'm pretty cold tolerant. So, DFuxa. I spelled that wrong. Meant to call this one Davian. It's probably going a little bit overboard, whatever. There we go. So here's our guys, like, that's probably with 3 meals that basically go on an adventure here, I guess. So let's read up about their, like, childhoods and adulthoods and stuff like that, I guess, a little bit here. So we got childhood medical assistant. Spork was born during a catastrophic war in which both sides used napalm extensively. He grew up helping his parents in an infirmary treating the cascade of horrific burns from the battlefield. He was left with a lifelong fear of fire. And he's apparently a medieval oaf in his childhood, or adulthood. Tilling, hoeing, guiding ox carts, pushing wheelbarrows, digging ditches, planting seeds, predicting the harvest. Medieval level farmers aren't educated in the usual sense, but they know a lot about growing plants without technology. That said, such a life leaves one essentially incapable of participating in intellectual technology-driven activities. So basically he got no research ability, but that's fine. He doesn't have to do research, he's got like everything else that's pretty good about him. Alright, we got Mana here. So Mana is essentially a shopkeeper. Mana's mother was often ill, and it fell to him to run a store, which was their only source of income. He learned a little about exotic artifacts which he sold, and a lot about the art of the deal. So basically he's got good social and a good research result, that's decent. And he's an explosive expert. Mana was an explosive engineer employed in mines. He took his job very seriously and was very well versed in technologies. So much so that he refused to demean himself by helping with the cleanup once his carefully calculated explosion was complete. Okay, I guess that sounds right. And there's me, the DFuxa, the janitor. So, background soldier. DFuxa wasn't made as a person, but as an instrument of destruction. Grown in a bioweapons facility in talk combat during his accelerated growth, DFuxa still has a proclivity for combat of all kinds and aversion to human contact. Yep, that completely and utterly describes me to a nutshell. Starship janitor. While other passengers passed the years between star systems in cryosleep sarcophagi, DFuxa had to wake up at periodical intervals to perform inspections, check the navigation systems, and to oil the mechanoids. So I got good construction, good crafting. That's fine. And then we got these other things like, you know, incapable of. So I'm not capable of like social or caring, that's fine, I guess. Mana's not capable of dumb labor, so he's not going to do anything pushing around, stuff like that. Spork is essentially not good at intellectual firefighting. So that's a mix of like, you know, incapables, but, you know, whatever, going to get by it with, you know, other stuff. Then we got traits down here, we got lazy. So Spork is a little bit lazy, so he's a little bit slow. He's got chemical fascination. So Spork has an intense fascination with chemical sources of enjoyment. He will consume much more of them and will sometimes go on a hard drug binges. Will ignore directives to not use pleasurable drugs. And apparently it's abrasive, so Spork always says exactly what's on his mind, especially if it's bugging him. That tends to rub people the wrong way. Wow, I'm just gonna like nail down a social commentary just perfectly with that one little sentence, I guess. Alright, so Mana is steadfast. Man is mentally tough and won't break down under stresses that would crack most people. He's got a mental threshold a little bit lower than most. As a prostophobe. Man believes human body is limited for a reason. To him, bionic body parts are unethical. Oh wow, so we've actually got a prostophobe, someone who doesn't like prosthetics, that's cool. And then there's DFuxa here, so I'm psychically sensitive. DFuxa's mind is unusually sensitive to psychic phenomenon. Sure, why not? I'm ugly. DFuxa is somewhat ugly. This subtly repels others during social interactions. And I'm cold tolerant, so basically I handle the cold temperatures better than most people. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, well, let's get started. I'll see you guys in game. Alright, so. The three of you awake in your cryo-sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on an unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Alright, we've crashed land. Let's see how we do. There's our crash pods right there. And I'm just going to do this right away. We're just going to drag and drop the entire map here. And the reason I do this is so I can select all the different, like, things on like the, the map that I might want to collect, like the steel. Over here we got some processed food. We got some lumber. More steel, more steel. More processed food. Basically I want to collect all this stuff and put it somewhere nice. And wow, look at this map. We got a nice little chasm here. Nice little chasm over here. This is like a lovely start. Look at this. Like a nice little defensive area I could go into. So I could make like a nice little defensive zone right in here. Okay, we're just going to press F so I basically collect all that. And we'll crash land, so boom. Alright, there we are. So let's look at our characters here. So, Manny, you're probably going to be picking up that survival rifle, I think. Spork, you get the plasteel knife because you're not going to be in combat. And I'll pick up the pistol. That's pretty decent for me. We'll just collect all this stuff. And for the first day or so, I think we're going to do some hauling. So we're going to make a home area. This is going to be our home area in here. So basically I'm just going to go like this. And essentially what I'm doing here, this is like a home area which are like, they'll do cleaning, they'll fight fires and stuff if it happens in the area. There we go, that's fine. So that's my home area. I'm going to basically make this like my HQ for a little bit. So I'll build a couple of beds in here, or a few beds rather. We'll build 4 beds for now. I need to build a little bit of like, walls and stuff, so let's build like wood. Right there, right there, right there. Actually, let's build like some doors. Build a door right there, build a door right here, build a door right there. Deconstruct that wall right there. Harvest that before we, get rid of it, I guess. Yeah, those are raspberry bushes. Well, those will be important to basically harvest for a little bit of stuff. A whole lot of raspberry bushes inside this area. That's fine, I guess. Let's harvest this. I'm going to actually order these guys to cut down all the plants in here when I get the chance, so all this will get cut down. They equip their stuff, and then they'll start like dragging stuff to a stockpile once I make it. I need to actually make the stockpile first. So we'll make like a stockpile Let's make a dumping zone first, actually. We'll put a dumping zone right in here. We're gonna dump corpses in here. And rotten stuff. And weapons, I guess. And while I'm at it, I might as well build like a chunk one for right here. I'll stockpile my food up here, I guess. And then we'll stockpile the rest of our stuff in its own zone right there for now. A little bit of rich soil up here, apparently. And right there. I might want to build a bunch of, like, farms up here, perhaps. But it's not really in a, like, you know, decent area for, growing, because there's, like, shade and stuff. Okay, let's build up a door right there. Apparently, man is just wandering for a moment. That's fine for now, I guess. Eventually, then I'll start working. He's just, you know, wandering for a little bit, I guess. Looks like I'm gonna just build up a bed. So there's one of the beds made. Why don't I make one of these? Apparently I've got a Yorkshire Terrier for a pet. So that you be trained. Looks like I'm slowly making up the beds. Spork's slowly cutting down wood for some reason. I guess that's his priority. He's cutting down wood first. Man won't do any plank cutting, he won't do any hauling, he won't do any cleaning. The most basic things he can do, and he can't do them because, you know, he's not that type of character. Alright, let's get Man to do some hunting then. And I'll hunt this. A few rats around, and we'll just kill them. I might as well get myself a fuel stove at some point, so... let's not build that right there. We're gonna build a butcher's table right here. And a fuel stove down here. What the? Well, you know, I can hunt too, apparently. I'm gonna hunt with a pistol. Why not? I'm actually hunting him through that little crevice right there. And this man firing out at this guy, I guess. I really shouldn't be hunting, so let's turn that off. Interesting to watch, I guess. There we go. Man, I got a kill. How about man helps construct, because it seems like he doesn't have a whole lot I can do at the moment. There we go. So like getting all this stuff built. There's a torch. There's a table for eating on. Excellent. And Sporkos keep cutting, that's fine. We're gonna make some growing zones, I think, right over here. Make one of these rice. Spork will go to growing some, you know, stuff then for us to eat later on. Man, it looks like he's slowly building up our fuel stove. Now, I'm not sure, but I think these guys, the smaller pets, they need to eat like kibble. So diet, vegetables, raw meat, corpses, seeds, animal, products, meals, liquor, kibble. Might need to make him a little bit of kibble to eat. There's our stove. Where am I? Apparently I'm down here eating a bit of food. That's fine. Once there's some like chairs and stuff, you can eat at the table to eat. Apparently I'm gonna do some butchering. Trying to teach the dog a little bit of obedience, I guess. Whoop! Man failed the construction chair, so we lost a little bit of resources, apparently. Oh well. And apparently I want to go cloud washing. Yeah, I want to do that. Cloud wash. That's what you do when you're, like, you know, bored, I guess. You cloud wash a little bit. Speaking of bored, I should make sure I have a horseshoe pin for Joy later on. Do that right there. I should probably move the stockpile somewhere, but I'll worry about that at another point. I can always build like a stockpile into the mountains somewhere. Got a really nice setup for building, like, you know, defenses and such. Come on, don't be cloud washing all day, me. I'm not very smart, apparently. I like to cloud wash a little bit. And you know what? I'm actually going to do this right now. We're going to make a dumping zone. This is a stockpile zone, okay. I'm gonna make a stockpile zone a little bit out there so I can build like our crop here. And this will just be for all your stuff. And we'll put like heal root or something right here, I guess. Heal root's basically for healing, you know, your stuff with like, you know, stuff. Herbal remedies, I guess. And man, slowly building up in our dining chair. By the way, up here is like a tutorial that lets you like do stuff if you need to. I might look into the tutorial a bit later, but for now we don't really need it. Hey, dining room table. Excellent. Now this stuff I don't think can be moved around. And apparently that's a very poor one that he made, but whatever. Man's now no construction expert, that's fine. Apparently just need more wood, apparently. Hauling more wood. Very slow going first day, but that's to be expected. This area's unroofed, which is a bit of an issue, but whatever. We'll sleep under the stars for the first night. There we go. Building our roofs. Well, he's trying to feed up Spork a little bit of training again. You're wandering. I'm refueling the stove. Man, I might be wandering because he doesn't have anything to do at the moment. Maybe let's get him to go help grow. Alright, well, looks like this is the first night. Everyone's going to sleep. And that seems like a nice place to sort of end it. We'll wait till like the autosave happens in the morning. It's kind of odd how the shadows work in this game. There's like, I guess, moons in the sky, and they cast shadows over the place. Did I autosave? I'm not sure I did. There we go. I autosaved. Alright, well. Let's just leave it there for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see how it goes for, you know, the future, but for now, take care.